Hey everyone, this is Aaron Fink from Grapple City Rewind. If you like what you hear on this episode, make sure to subscribe with whatever podcast platform you use so you never miss an episode. Also, be sure to check out our back catalog. We talk old pay-per-views, so they're always good to go back to. All right, cue that music.
Podcast.
Damn it! I was hoping it would be okay. All right, I'll do it one more time. Hey everyone, this is Aaron Fink from. God damn it! Now I'm laughing.
Hello and welcome to Grapple City Rewind, taking you all the way back to the iconic pay-per-views and television specials that shaped professional wrestling history. This week, we are heading back to February 2001 for WWF's No Way Out, featuring probably one of the most blood-soaked matches we've watched for this particular podcast. The biggest names in the Attitude Era squaring off against one another, a fight for the right to express nudity, and even a significant title change. We will let you know if it totally worked, if it was totally stupid, or a healthy dose maybe of both. And we will be sure to weigh in on as to whether or not it's worth watching at all. But first, this past weekend was the 2026 Royal Rumble, and we always like to start things off with a little current product. I'm Bradley Palermo, by the way, here as always with Aaron Fink. And Aaron, let's talk about our feelings about the Royal Rumble.
Sure, yeah.
What we liked, what we didn't like. Let's talk about maybe what we liked first.
Yeah, I honestly liked most of it. Did I love it? No. You know, if I had to give it like a letter grade, maybe I'd give it like a B overall.
Okay.
But I think each match had its moments. We can just start with the order of the pay-per-view. So Women's Rumble was first. I enjoyed them spotlighting certain people, like Sol Ruka definitely got like her own time to shine and did some cool stuff. Lash Legend had a similar opportunity. Natty had an opportunity. So I liked that everybody had stuff to do, and there were lots of little story nuggets that came out of the match too, right? Like Kyrie Sane accidentally eliminating Asuka, Natty eliminating Becky, Liv eliminating Raquel. So like there are all these little things that I'm like, oh, okay, that's they can make something out of that. Oh, another one was I think it was Charlotte eliminating Alexa. So all of these like friends or groupings or tag teams in some instances, they had moments where you were like, oh, so that was kind of fun. And I when we were talking about who we thought was going to win, I had no idea going into it. So having Liv win, I was like, yeah, cool. Makes sense. She's super popular and they've been pushing her, pretty consistently for the last couple of years. So I have no problem with it.
Yeah, I have no problem with Liv winning. I didn't know who was going to win, so that was one of my high spots, just that I didn't know. So I like that. I predicted a lot of this entire card incorrectly, but it's good. It's good when you can't call the whole thing. Yeah. Sol Ruka is, becoming a favorite of mine. Her Soul Snatcher move is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I did think the stories were cool within the Women's Rumble. I like the Women's Rumble probably more than a lot of things on this card. I do think that just it being in Riyadh and having the women so like overly dressed is just not fun, and it feels conservative. And these motherfuckers weren't even allowed to eat at their seats or drink.
Yeah, I heard about that. So I was going to talk about like the whole crowd side of it, but I guess now that you're bringing it up, let's dive into it. So I found those lights that they had like behind everybody super distracting.
They kind of have that at Intuit.
Yeah, exactly. It's exactly like the Intuit Dome. I think at the Intuit Dome, it's inside of the armrests, but it still achieves the same effect, which is like essentially to almost make it seem like there's no one there. I mean, and they made cool designs and stuff with the lights, but I didn't really need that. I would rather have seen the crowd. It just felt kind of weird. And then I was listening to Busted Open Monday morning, and someone called in who was there, and yeah, they mentioned like not only did were they not allowed to eat any food inside of the stadium, but they ran out of food. So people were like making a mad dash to get food. And then also, it started at 10 p.m. Riyadh time. So there were a lot of moments where I was like, oh, is this not sold out? And I couldn't tell if it was the lights or if it was that people actually weren't there. And I guess it was kind of a combination of both.
You would see the front row empty sometimes, but it's because I think a bunch of important people in that country have, rows in the front.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I saw one with a green shirt guy alone in the front row. It wasn't the whole time, but it's like if all the princes go and they go off to wherever they go, their private areas, it's just empty. We're in the United States. They put a seat filler in the front row. They don't leave the front row empty. They put us from the second or third rows, in there, and then when the VIPs come back, they pull you back out. I mean, I don't know, it's weird, man. But like Saudi, they have nothing. They don't like anything too sexy. They don't want you to have any beer or weed or anything. It's just a tough sell, man. That's like no one can have any fucking fun, dude.
Not to mention that I felt like so one of the things that I love about the Rumble, and I think that we've talked about this before, is like the countdown, the crowd.
They didn't do that.
Counting down. They did it, but they did it in Arabic, so it just didn't feel the same.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Like you just can't. I don't know. Like that's a very small gripe. I do feel like there were times where they didn't say anything, or if they did, it was so quiet that it didn't come across.
Was the 10-9-8 on the screen?
It was sometimes,
okay.
yeah. And it was definitely in the arena. Like I did occasionally see a wide shot that showed that the audience there could see it. But yeah, it just felt a little off in terms of the crowd. And, I hate to be like harping on it or nitpicking, but these things make a difference as a viewer at home. I'm sure people who were there had a great time. And ultimately that is their barometer of success. I don't think they really care too much about people complaining on the internet, but it was different.
They made a lot of fucking money, so it's kind of mission accomplished, right? But
yeah. So let's see other matches. It was Drew and Sammy. Was that after the women's?
I thought AJ was next, but I could be wrong. AJ Gunther, I was wrong on AJ and Gunther. I really thought that it would be too soon. But it's a fucking bummer. I mean, I don't know what to say. Fucking AJ retires. He passes out in one of Gunther's holds, and
the sleeper.
And I thought it was a really good match because these two guys are really great, and Gunther's a old school smug ass heel. He's not he's not a LeBron breaker, wreck everyone, tear through the locker room. He's methodical, and he wants to get you where it hurts. And I like to dislike him, which I think he's a good kind of special kind of heel. And AJ is just an amazing wrestler. And I was on the edge of my seat because there were stakes, but also because the way that they built those rope breaks and those submission breaks was stressful.
Yeah, it was a really good match. It was a good match, and I feel the same way. I was upset by the result, but that was the point, right? To hate Gunther even more. I wish that it didn't end that way. I would have liked for AJ to have a bit more pomp and circumstance for his retirement, but I guess anything's possible in wrestling, right? He might show up in TNA. There's Triple H was on the post show, and he said, like, I spoke to AJ, and he's done in ring, is what is what Hunter said. So I don't know if that's true or not. I mean, based off of that, and I think some of the discussion about what was happening backstage after his match, it seems like it could be. But if it is, it just feels so unceremonious. Like, I don't know. I don't know that one match is going to make a difference for me, but I think it would sure be fun if he showed up in TNA, which is the company that he became famous in and that he made famous, and had one last match.
Yeah, let's hope he does, and let's hope he shows up in New Japan. Let's hope he, after his non-compete, that he hits a couple big matches around, but in different promotions. But this is why I feel like this thing was a disappointing Royal Rumble, because the women's thing was fine. I mean, I could probably complain about some of the way that women, they do like the slow motion, like choreographed moves.
Yeah, it feels a little too choreographed sometimes. Yeah.
Sometimes with the women on WWE, it's like that. But overall, I like the women's rumble, and then and I like some of the young people that shine. And then this was a good match with AJ and Gunther, but it was a disappointing finish. And I thought the way that you could turn all that around and give us some ebbs and flows and like give us some peaks and valleys was to
Just
just,
have
who
Sammy
gives a
win.
shit about Drew McIntyre holding that title? Just fucking give it to Sammy already.
I know. I mean, it's just not, it just seems like that's not the story they want to go with. It seems like it's Cody and Jacob. And I was disappointed by this too.
But you give us two bummers in a row. And so now I'm kind of
The
like,
fact that he beat him clean too, that was what I was surprised. That Drew beat Sammy so clean. No cheating, no low blows, no ref bumps. Like, I was just like, man, way to shit all over Sammy.
yeah, I mean, it's a creative decision. It's hard to get too mad like a sports guy when you know that someone chose to do this for a reason.
Yeah.
But it was depressing to, you're not like, you're in Saudi Arabia. It feels different. It doesn't feel quite like the rumbles that I remember. And now it's like you're giving me like two interesting matches, but there's no like happy ending to either one. And then you get into the men's rumble, which, I mean, we can jump to the end and then talk about the middle, I guess. But
Sure.
Roman Reigns, I mean, I understand why he won the Rumble. You put him against CM Punk and you sell that ticket for WrestleMania because that's a WrestleMania kind of match. I don't think that they've gone after each other gone at it since like one on one since like 2014 or some shit. I could be wrong. Someone can correct me if I am.
Yeah, no, you're 100% right, actually.
So I mean, I want to see that match, I guess, but like I feel like it's like instead of making a new interesting horror movie, you make like Saw 15. It's like Roman Reigns at the top again. It's like
Yeah.
I'm tired of his face. I'm tired of him being pushed down my throat. Like I don't know how this shit works, but like fucking like I want to see like Oba like 100,000 times more than I want to see Roman Reigns. Like I'd rather
Yeah.
see Oba fucking just squash somebody right now because he's fresh and interesting, and you know what I
Yeah.
mean. It's like I'm so fucking tired of Roman. Is he not even on this fucking show? And it's like I know him and Punk will do a good job, but it just seems like the easy way instead of giving us something new.
I get it. I mean, I don't disagree. I think if you asked most people who know about Obafemi, they would say the same thing. But then again, if you look at it from like the creative side, it's like, yeah, they all know that we want that, but they're not ready to give it to us yet. They want to draw it out as long as they can so that when they do something like that, it's
Yeah.
even more impactful. So I get it. I was not expecting Roman to win. I'm not as upset about it as you because we're getting Punk versus Roman. As of Monday evening on Raw, they had a terrific promo battle back and forth.
And that makes me feel better about it, and I'll get behind it. But at the time, it wasn't. I was like, really fucking Roman again,
Yeah, well, and with Gunther as number 30 and being the other final member of the Rumble, I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna be so pissed if Gunther wins the Rumble.
It added tension because
Yeah.
you believe that they could go there. And I'll say I'm glad we were wrong. I'm glad it wasn't Braun. I just don't think Braun, when you have Oba and shit like that, like Braun is just not going to be the fucking.
He's just
like,
not ready yet. I think neither of them are.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. Braun doesn't scare me like they've got other guys that.
Yeah. Oba to me is more exciting than Braun Breaker. I get why both of them are appealing in their own ways, but yeah, I as a whole, I actually did like the men's Rumble. I don't know if I liked it more than the women's, maybe the same. I thought the Oba stuff was great.
Javon
was great. I'm intrigued by whoever attacked Braun Breaker. some people are saying they think it's Adam Pearce. I'm like, no way, that guy was way too small and skinny to be Adam Pearce. Adam Pearce is like 6'3".
Who
So
it's not Jericho, I guess, either. He's pretty big
no,
too.
it kind
Yeah.
of felt like it was like I was looking at their hands and they
Yeah.
had like really small hands. So I don't know if it was actually
A guy?
a guy or if it was just like let's just get an extra or something. I again, whoever they got to do that, if it wasn't Seth, it looked exactly like Seth in terms of the kick, the stomp, all that stuff. So who knows? I would venture to guess he was there because Becky was there, but he's obviously not cleared to wrestle yet. So we'll find out when we find out. But yeah, Javon, Oba was fun. The Brock stuff was good too until he got eliminated like in the middle of Jay's entrance. I thought that was kind of weird. I don't know if that was just like a miscue or if it was intentionally
Yeah, they
like
didn't
sort
really
of.
show it, right? They were like, Brock Lesnar is eliminated.
Yeah, he got eliminated by Cody and LA Knight. I thought the
Yeah.
LA Knight return was good because he last time we saw him, he got the shit kicked out of him by the Vision. So he came in and he threw 2 Vision people out of the match. That was good.
Yeah.
There was a lot of little things. Randy and Cody for a second was good. There's like a
Yeah.
lot of cool little threads in this one too. Maybe not as many stories leading out of it per se, but I liked it. I did. It wasn't. I'm trying to think. Like I think I really enjoyed last year's Rumble because I
Yeah.
think I felt like Punk could win, Roman could win, Seth could win. You know, Cody, Cena. Like there were a lot of viable options last year. So I don't know. It just wasn't the same this year for a number of reasons, but I didn't hate it. I was entertained and I enjoyed watching it. I watched it with some friends. We had a good time. We laughed. We yelled. So
Yeah.
can't ask for more, really.
Yeah, I just thought it was a little I guess it was just I was just disappointed by a lot of the results, not necessarily the work.
It was just okay, right? Like
Right.
there was nothing bad. It just wasn't like, holy shit, this was awesome,
Exactly.
Now it's time for the
All right. How'd you like that new little sting there?
That's pretty great.
So today we are rewinding to No Way Out, WWF's No Way Out 2001. And that was on February 25th of 2001, 25 years ago, at the Thomas and Mack Center in Las Vegas, Nevada. Do you remember the Thomas and Mack Center, Aaron?
I do. I went and saw a Monday Night Raw there in, God, it must have been like 2006 or 2007. I didn't know this was happening in 2001. I wish I would have known. I probably would have tried to go.
Hell yeah. So it was an attendance of almost 13,000 people. We had Jim Ross and Jerry Lawler on commentary, and we're talking about the road to WrestleMania 17. Is that right? This would have been right up.
Yes.
After the Rumble and before Mania. This was the pay-per-view in between. Everything is sort of set up here to get us to, I guess, Rock and Austin. That would happen at Mania 17. So we have to kind of wade through some crazy shit. This one is fucking crazy. This is like sort of it's like come off the rails. Like everything is it's just a lot of sleaze, blood, I know we say chaotic a lot, but this one is really just getting nuts. It's like really kind of like losing its mind. It's very, I don't know. It's like it's meth wrestling, It's wrestling on meth.
Yeah, and something different about this pay-per-view was we got videos hyping up both of the big feuds that we were going to see in the pay-per-view before we even saw the crowd. And that was kind of interesting, a little different from at least what we've watched in so far on this podcast, like especially in this time period. It was like, oh, okay, so I know I'm supposed to be paying attention to Triple H versus Austin and Rock versus Angle. So
right.
I felt primed, and then we had the most random opening match, Raven versus the Big Show for the Hardcore Championship.
We'll be back after a quick break.
And this episode has been brought to you by Weber for Law, your tag team partner when life body slams you out of nowhere. If you've been injured in an accident, motorcycle, car, dog bite, slip and fall, or even if you've been hit in the head with a flying steel chair, these are the guys to call. They've got knockout reviews on Google, a killer track record, and they always fight for the win. I can testify to that personally. Weber for Law took care of me, and they will take care of you too. Don't wait. Visit weberforlaw.com. That's WEBER, the number 4, law.com. Or call 818-502-9200. That's 818-502-9200. Weber for Law, your tag team partner when life body slams you out of nowhere. Right, Raven is the champion of the hardcore champion at this point. And they've got like, he comes out with fucking like shopping carts and trash cans full of gimmicks, right? Like stop signs, and it's like he went down to Skid Row or whatever the Las Vegas version was and just put it all in.
Well, he's doing the New Jack thing, you know. New Jack used to do that all the time. And like even the start of this was really weird. Big Show came out second, and as he's walking to the ring, there was this masked woman who tried to attack him and failed, and we never found out who that was. And then Raven like runs up the ramp and hits Big Show with a stop sign. But then in like 15 seconds, Big Show's already like, oh, I'm fine, and just turns it around pretty quick.
Raven takes a lot of stop signs to the head.
Mm-hmm.
I think that stop sign must have been, I hope it was cardboard or something, because
it didn't sound like it.
The way that they were bashing each other's heads, it was not a good idea if that thing had any weight to it. And I don't have a lot to say about it. It comes out full fucking speed. There's garbage everywhere. Shopping carts turned upside down. And then like somehow Steve Blackman and Hardcore Holly, a fucking like popcorn concession guy, Billy Gunn, they're all fucking in there. Like I don't know
because it's hard. So this is like
the 24-hour.
Yeah, it's like it's like the 24/7 championship before the 24/7 championship existed. And yeah, Blackman, Hardcore Holly, Billy Gunn, a concession stand guy. Because of the rules surrounding the title, they just all show up.
You can just pin someone and win it at any time, and then someone can pin you right afterwards and they win it. And so this title changes hands several times during this match. Billy Gunn wins the title.
It's 3 times, right?
well, yeah. Billy Gunn wins the title off of Raven, then Raven wins it off of Billy Gunn, then Big Show wins it off of Raven.
Yeah.
And
wasn't this like, and it was all like in 5 minutes too.
Yeah, at least under 10, it seemed. But I started to feel like this is fucking stupid. Like, what am I signing up for? Like, this is, I mean, the 24/7 title is kind of dumb too. It
was a comedy title.
Yeah, it was like, who's that fucking, oh God, who's the Jewish guy from the Busted Open that we listened to?
Sam Roberts?
No.
The Jewish guy?
Yeah. The one who's with Stat Guy Greg.
Oh my God. Peter Rosenberg.
I don't know why I couldn't think of his fucking name. He's been the 24/7 champion, you know?
Yeah.
It's like if Peter Rosenberg, you know, oh fucking hell. But
it was not the best start to the pay-per-view for sure. Thankfully the next match was pretty fucking good though.
Yeah. But I will say backstage before that match, before that we get to the next match, Lillian Garcia is interviewing Eddie Guerrero and Chris Benoit. And can we just talk for a second how much I hate Lillian Garcia? When she was not announcing on this, but when she does for the WWE or the championship. It's like, but it's not ship. It's championship. But I found like entire.
You hate Lillian Garcia.
I can't stand it, but I found people on Reddit. There's thousands of people that are just like can't stand her either. Like that thing just like fucking drives like a rage in my head. Like Chiop. Like, but yeah, I mean, I hear she's not doing that weird sound accent thing. So she seems perfectly like a perfectly normal person. It's not really bothering me at this point. It's just when she gets to ring announcing. But let me get into the Intercontinental Championship, which is going to be a fatal 4-way. Chris Jericho is the champion, facing Chris Benoit versus Eddie Guerrero versus X-Pac. I was kind of into this. Like, you get the sort of that big fight feel. The strobe lights are kind of cool in this era, like green strobe lights, red strobe lights, blue strobe, depending on who's coming out. Like the arena is just, it's all lit up in kind of a fun way and kind of old school. I don't really see, like, now it's always like LED screens. It's not relying on strobes, but it seemed like a fun place I'd like to be. And Eddie and Benoit, you know, they kind of team up early on. That doesn't last very long, but there is a madness to this match. I mean, a real intensity, a lot of hard chops, and everyone's fast. And all these guys, I mean, we've seen them kind of different iterations of multi-man matches with some of these guys in the Attitude Era stuff we've watched before. But they're always really good, like solid, just how these dudes in the ring together.
Yeah, how can you not like a match with all four of these guys? They're terrific in the ring. This match is no exception. I did also write down it was pretty hectic, and most Fatal 4-Ways are, but I did say that this one felt a lot more natural to me than a lot of them do nowadays. Like, it didn't feel as forced where people are leaving the ring and coming back in and stuff. Like, there was just a good flow to it. Everyone was definitely hitting each other pretty hard. Benoit was hitting everyone really hard. And I was like, well, surprise, surprise. The funny moment in the match, Jericho put the walls of Jericho on each of his three opponents, one after the other.
He hits that shit fast. He can get it on anybody in a second. Yeah.
Yeah, I really liked it. It's hard not to like a match with these guys in it, you know? Like, we've seen all four of these guys a lot, and for good reason.
At one point, there are two pins being counted at the same time by the ref. He's using both arms.
Yeah.
I don't know how they would have had two winners. They would have had to fucking, you know, I don't know, but I was like, and then they both broke at the same time. I was like, okay, this is wild. They're like flying off the walls here. And then some like bald idiot interferes. He's called Perry Saturn. His nickname Wolverine, but he has no hair. How are you, Wolverine, with no hair?
Yeah, we've seen Perry Saturn before. He was he's part of Raven's flock in WCW.
Oh, right. Yeah, I knew the name had come up. Some of these guys, they blend together. I hope his mom doesn't call into the podcast and be like, "You called my son a bald idiot."
Saturn.
But Jericho rolls up X-Pac, arches all the way back. He like kind of, I don't know, the pin was even intense, and retains.
Yeah, it was a good match. After this, we had a little backstage.
Oh, Meltzer gave it a 4.
Oh, wow. Okay. Hell yeah.
But the first match he gave a 2-star too.
Okay, yeah, that match wasn't very good. So, but this one was. That's a good rating. So anyway, backstage after the match with Vince and William Regal, they're talking about the match that we're about to see, which is going to be between Trish Stratus and Stephanie McMahon Helmsley. I didn't write down what they were talking about. I just wrote down Vince is being gross as usual.
Vince is grilling Regal on what, because Regal's like a on-screen stooge for Vince making matches, and in this
like,
part,
you know what I want you to do or whatever, right?
Yeah, and he tells him, well, Stephanie is Daddy's little girl, which the way he says it, it's gross. Daddy's special.
That's right. Yeah, that's why I said he was gross.
Special little girl, and Trish is my very special friend. And, you know, Trish is way younger than him, and it's really gross how he says that. And also, just Vince is a gross guy. So, yeah, I think I wrote down the word gross several times, but
and before we got to the match, this is actually something that I thought was really fun about this pay-per-view on Netflix. And I don't know if this is a new thing that they're doing now that it's on Netflix, but we saw 2 commercials from the time. One of them was for Monday Night Raw that was on TNN at the time, and the other was for a WWF CD that had a bunch of wrestlers' entrances on it. And the advertisement said it also includes The Rock's special internet browser. And I was like, I wonder what that was like. So any listeners, if you got that CD and you remember what The Rock's special internet browser was, I would love to hear from you more about that.
It's so hard. Back then, it was so hard to get any internet browser to work that I just wouldn't have a lot of faith in the Rock's version. But you know, they did a lot, right? Like the commercials were cool to see. It was like TNN. I forgot because I started watching Raw on USA, and then I guess it left for TNN. I was like, what was TNN? I guess it stood for the Nashville Network, and then it became the National Network, and now then it became Spike TV. So it was interesting to see that Raw went there and then ended up back on USA. Also, they keep cutting to WWF New York, which, you know, was the WWF's watch party bar club in Times Square at the time. Busta Rhymes is there being interviewed about the event.
Yeah.
I'm like, you guys are in Vegas, but you're showing a lot more New York than Vegas. That was interesting. They have clips of Vince basically telling his wife to fuck off and cheating on his wife with Trish Stratus.
Yeah, dude, this was crazy storyline. Trish is sleeping with Vince. Linda McMahon's in a sanatorium.
Yeah,
and Stephanie is feuding with Trish because she's sick of her.
And Stephanie's throwing around words like hoe and skank a lot, which are words that you don't really hear too far outside of the 90s. So it was very, you know, it's just, that's part of what I like about going back and watching these. It's just hearing people say hoe and skank, you know, it's mostly why I do this.
Yep. Do it for the hose.
No, just to hear the time capsules. I like to hear like, oh yeah, like shit, you know, shit was different then, you know, like it's fun. The commercials are great too. And then we get to Stephanie McMahon versus Trish Stratus, which this is not a wrestling match. This is a Jerry Springer.
It's like a street fight. I mean,
I would say it's like what, and it's probably not politically correct to call it this anymore, but like a cat fight where on like Jerry or something, like the women aren't fighting or wrestling. They're holding on to each other's hair and sort of like, you know, swinging their arms in circles and just tossing each other back and forth. I mean, it's like two girls that don't know how to fight. Which Trish is a really great wrestler. Stephanie, you know, wasn't doing a whole lot. Didn't really wrestle. Yeah.
Didn't really wrestle very much. Yeah. You know, honestly, Stephanie was a lot better than I thought she'd be. And Trish, of course, yeah, like you said, Trish is always great. I gotta admit, I did enjoy this, even though it was at times not appropriate at all. Like just with the cat fight stuff, and like that wasn't the whole match, but that was a good portion of it.
Stephanie pulled Trish's ass out, and then tried to pull her, and then pulled her tits out, and you know, I mean, she had a thong on, but like it was like, did you really need to pull her shorts off and start smacking her ass? Like it was like really kind of oddly, you know.
Degrading.
Horny, whatever. Yeah.
So eventually Regal comes down and he interferes, but first he interferes for Trish, and then he changes his mind and he puts Stephanie's foot on the rope while Trish is pinning her. And then Trish is like, yo, what the fuck, Regal? And she slaps the shit out of Regal. And then Regal attacks Trish and Stephanie wins with the pin. I was like, okay, this was a little cuckoo bananas, but you know, pretty average for this time period with the women.
Yeah, I mean, Meltzer gave it a 1-star rating. I thought having Stephanie beat Trish Stratus is a little shameful, but maybe that's the point. And
well, you know, she was the baby face, believe it or not, because everybody hates Vince. And like I said, they were setting it up where he's like cheating on his wife with a 25-year-old. He's like 55. Right. And he put his wife in an insane asylum. Like, you know, it's pretty hard not to be rooting for Stephanie here.
It's true. And then this sets up Vince McMahon and Trish are going to have to fight William Regal and Stephanie. So Stephanie's going to be on a tag team against her father and her father's girlfriend the following night on Monday Night Raw, which I didn't look up what happens and I don't really care, but it's that's where that story was headed. And then we get a WrestleMania commercial, which was weird. I don't think they were being like satirical. They're in all this chaos and like people pulling their asses out literally, and you know, and later on in this thing, like hardcore death matches are happening, and just a really wild time. They play like this sentimental music and show like these couples,
like the showcase of the immortals, the spectacle of our sport, you know, whatever.
Yeah, and it's like a barber, you know, working hard, watching WrestleMania on his little TV, and then it's like a guy putting on his clown makeup, like watching, you know, from backstage, and then it's some like broke teenagers watching. Somehow they got fucking a cable box and pay-per-view in their back of their fucking broken down Oldsmobile, and it's like they're like basically like everyone in America loves WrestleMania.
Right.
We're all the same. We're all wrestling fans and all this stuff. And it happened a couple times. You know, there's farmers and shit. I was like, is this supposed to be fucking funny? Like making fun of an insurance commercial? But no, I think
No, they were being serious.
someone just decided that was their thing. Mechanics. Yeah, I put clowns, barbers, mechanics, and more. Extremely weird. And then we get into the 3 stages of hell match, which is Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Triple H. The winner will go on to face. Oh no, yes, this is
The winner will go on to face whoever the champion is at WrestleMania.
who is The Rock.
Or no, it was
right?
it was just Austin, right? I mean, didn't he win the Rumble this year? I don't know.
I'm not sure.
I think it was just a blood feud. I don't think it was. I think Austin was already going to WrestleMania. I think this was just like a feud that had been building and building and building, and this was the blow off.
I see. Right. Okay, cool. Well, okay, so this is the story behind this is these two have destroyed each other's lives. There's shit involving forklifts with one of the dudes is in a car and gets dropped and they've cost each other titles and fucked up each other's chances in their careers, and they weren't allowed to touch each other before this match. And Austin had attacked Triple H's wife, Stephanie, and Triple H couldn't do shit about it because of the stipulation where they couldn't touch. And in this, there's 3 stages. There's 3 matches. First is a traditional wrestling match. Whoever wins that one scores the first fall. Best 2 out of 3 falls yet to win. So the second fall is the street fight. And then if it's 1-1 after the street fight, it goes on to a cage match. But the thing I don't like about these 3 stages of hell is it always goes to the 3rd stage. Like, how funny would it be if it didn't? If one guy just got 2 falls and it didn't go to 3rd stage, you know? Like,
that's the only problem with making the 3rd fall a gimmick is you're like, well, they're not gonna like just make the steel cage and hang it above the ring if they're not gonna actually get to it. So it kind of takes a little bit out of it. I feel like if you're gonna actually do something like this, the 3rd fall probably needs to be the straight wrestling match because that's the one that you could do away with. But I also understand the escalation as well. Like if I'm thinking about it by itself and I'm not analyzing the fact that I know that, you know, setting it up this way means we're always going to get there, it does make sense. You start with a regular match, you move to a no DQ match, and then you move to the more intense no DQ match.
you know, I think there is a way you could do it. If you, I mean, I don't know. I guess it probably not enough people are worried about it to have to do it, but like you could definitely have one guy win the 2 falls and have like Adam Pearce or somebody come out and be like, well, we got a fucking cage up here with nothing to do with it, so I'm gonna make a match, and then bring out like, you know what I mean, like some legends to do something. I don't know. You could do something. You could like make a match,
or you could do like somebody wins the first 2 and the GM comes out and he's like, I saw you cheated on the first one, so I'm reversing it, and now it's
that's better.
You know,
Yeah,
like
that's
something
better.
like that could work. But we got what we got. I mean, first fall, like you said, straight wrestling match, pretty standard stuff from Austin and Triple H, but that's not to say that it wasn't good. It was super solid work, very enjoyable. Crowd is super hyped. Not a whole lot for me to say on this one, except that I enjoyed the straight wrestling match, but I think it's the subsequent 2 falls that is where it really gets meaty.
When the traditional wrestling match was happening, I was almost kind of skeptical because these guys the crowd's so hot, like we talked about it before, that like they could almost do no wrong. You do notice that like Stone Cold, despite being like one of the biggest wrestlers ever, it doesn't have like the best looking work. I mean, his punches have a little too much daylight sometimes. Those mud hole stomps or whatever sometimes have a lot of daylight between him and the opponent. Like, not everything looks like super crisp, but like it kind of doesn't matter because it's all the attitude and the way he
didn't need it.
Shakes his head and the way he's come over here, motherfucker, or whatever. Like
that's the crazy thing about Austin, right? We've talked about this before. Stunning Steve was like a worker, you know,
did it all.
Like,
yeah, he had work rate. Yeah,
and Austin was Fez press, punches, stomps in the corner, and a stunner, and that was pretty much it. But it worked.
Yeah, it worked, and Triple H is just all sort of brawn and size and look, and Aquafina and whatever. But like they're not doing that much. But then, I mean, so Austin wins the first fall. It goes into the street fight, and now you're like, okay, to have these guys with this much attitude and this much heat or crowd participate, yeah,
Hatred for one another.
and yes, and I mean, so normally you get like deathmatch wrestlers. I guess I'm thinking like the indies and stuff, but you get guys that aren't very athletic and can't probably do a lot else, so they put their bodies like crazy on the line. Now this you have like huge stars who don't do like a lot of crazy moves in the ring, but like when you get that star power and then you start having them bash monitors and fucking bats with barbed wire and fighting in the arena with each other, and the volume of the arena, like this started to get like crazy. Like when they turned up the heat with the street fight or the no DQ or whatever they called it, this was like, holy shit, I don't think we've seen anything this violent on Grapple City Rewind.
Yeah, chairs, suplexes on the steel ramp, hitting each other with ring bells, 2x4 wrapped in barbed wire, pedigree, or looked like a pedigree on the announce table turns into a back body drop on the other announce table.
Did you hear Austin tell the ref to get the fuck out of my way? I was like,
I missed that.
Yeah, I mean, it was, he just like looked at it, the fuck out of my way. And I was like, whoa, like, I didn't know in 2001 they were already like saying fuck on pay-per-views, which it just makes violence seem more real, because in real violence, people say fuck,
Yeah, this second fall, thinking about this in juxtaposition to Cody versus Drew, their 3 stages of hell, it's crazy how much better this is. Like, the same idea, but just so much better.
And I would say like Cody and Drew they're probably more workers than these two guys are, Triple H and Stone Cold. But it's just so clean now, and this shit is like, I don't give a fuck how fake Steve's mud stomps or whatever look like. I would not get in there like that. These guys are fucking disgusting and scary, and
they hit it. They're laying everything in, like all of the furniture, all of the weapons they're using very well.
We got a sledgehammer in there.
Yep, Triple H's signature. That was he grabs a sledgehammer, he hits Austin with it in the face.
He gets it from under JR's desk. Like, how did JR not notice there was a sledgehammer under?
That's true. That was pretty funny.
Jerry Lawler was calling him out on it. He's like,
did you put them there?
You just bring a sledgehammer and hide it under your desk. Like, well, it was under your desk too. He's like, I think it was under your side.
Yeah, that was definitely funny for sure. But yeah, this second fall was nuts, and Triple H ends up winning with the sledgehammer to the face of Austin, and then a pedigree. He gets the second fall, so now it's time for the cage to come down. And this just continues the same kind of thing from the second fall, and it is still very good. It's a little repetitive, I suppose, but I did enjoy it. The sledgehammer and the 2x4 come back into play. Austin finally hits a stunner, but he can't get over to Triple H fast enough. So by the time he pins him, Triple H kicks out a 2. It was a long match. I mean, this was 40 minutes, this whole thing, but it didn't feel like it.
It didn't. And JR was like hilarious that once the cage is down. This is sadistic. And then when he's using the barbed wire on Austin, and then JR's carrying on about, I've seen a lot of slobber knockers, but the carnage. The carnage.
Yeah, he was hyped about this one.
Yeah, I guess this was before, I don't know. I'm trying to think. I mean, he had to have seen a lot of bloody matches by this point.
Sure, I'm sure you saw a lot in the 80s.
Yeah, but this was, I feel like, probably the craziest fucking bloodiest thing that you and I have watched for the show, right?
Just about, except for maybe, what was it? The Undertaker and Brock in the Hell in a Cell, where like Undertaker cut himself way too deep, or Brock cut himself. One of them cut themselves way too deep, and you're like, holy shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was super intense. I mean, it just keeps getting crazier and crazier. I did feel like I was a little exhausted by the end, but Austin's weapon of choice becomes the barbed wire wrap 2x4. Triple H is obviously the sledgehammer. They're both hitting each other with it. Eventually, they both hit each other at the same time. I actually really love this. They both hit each other at the same time, and Austin falls down first, and Triple H falls on top of him, and that's how he gets the third fall and the win.
Yeah, it was pretty good. They sort of just laid there like a couple of corpses on top of each other for a few minutes.
And then Austin gets up. Yeah, Austin gets up at the very end, hits Triple H with a stunner, and then leaves.
I mean, yeah, even though Austin lost this one, they still walked away with his music playing. So,
yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
You know, so it was kind of like, I think both men came out of this looking more badass than they entered it. So, I mean, it's I guess it didn't take away from anyone to have Austin lose. But
no,
what it did take away from for me was, and then this happened to me at Revolution last year with AEW, when you see a really good blow-off match with blood and, you know, and you really just feel like some shit's intense and it was settled, like with Mariah May and Tony Storm.
Yeah.
Or in this case with Austin and Triple H. You don't fucking need more wrestling after that. That should be the end of the night. Like
that was a main event for sure.
That was it. I don't need the rest of this shit. And I'm not saying there is a good main event, but like there's only so much you can take. You get fatigued. And this next match was, I mean, okay, first of all, Dave Meltzer gave the 3 Stages of Hell match a nearly perfect star rating of 4 3/4 stars, and it was good.
Hell yeah. Yeah, that's high for Dave. But oh my God, I agree with you. This next match, why did this happen? Why did we need this?
Let's start off with the Meltzer rating. Dud, if that says anything.
Yeah, okay. So Jerry Lawler leaves the announce table. So again, remember, Brad and I don't have any context of what has happened in weeks previously. So Jerry Lawler's like, okay, I got to go now. And I'm like, why? And then Taz shows up. We get a little package explaining what's going on. There's a faction called the Right to Censor. Horrible name for a faction. Yeah. And they have a few people in their group, including Steven Richards, also known as Stevie Richards, who we have seen before, Ivory, Val Venus, and some other people. And
the Godfather?
Steven Richards. Yeah, Godfather. I don't know if that's what they're calling him at this point.
Yeah.
But Steven Richards is about to face Jerry Lawler because there's this woman named the Cat who we have seen before.
Jerry Lawler's real life wife.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah.
I did not know that. Okay. Mm-hmm. Wow. She is like way younger than him. What the hell? Okay.
Yeah.
Neither here nor there. So I guess Cat wants to get naked in public. I don't really understand why. And obviously the Right to Censor's whole shtick is you can't do that. So their entrance, I swear to God, is the most annoying thing I've ever heard in my life. It was literally just a bunch of horrible alarm sounds and like sirens and shit.
Yeah. It
was bad. Like clearly something had been going on in the weeks prior to TV, on TV, but like this was just a bunch of interference and stupid shit. Lawler gets hit with a belt accidentally.
I mean, Lawler is kind of whooping this fucking Steven Richards guy ass for a while until there's interference everywhere and he loses. There is no nudity.
Yeah, the rest of the group comes down and they put a fucking burlap sack over the Cat and just carry her away. I'm like, are you kidnapping? Are you like about to sex traffic this woman? Like,
right.
What the fuck?
And the Cat was only married to Lawler for a brief period of time between 2000 and 2003. So,
yeah, a dud indeed.
So I don't know. That was a weird, and he was wearing a singlet with one strap, like kind of like an Andre the Giant sort of.
Yeah, that was his shtick. He had that.
Well, but it was printed like a cat, like a cheetah.
Right, like a print or something.
Which is just ridiculous. Yeah. So yeah, that was a bad match, and the crowd was chanting, "We want puppies."
They were.
We want puppies, like we've talked about before with this Jerry Lawler guy. I like Jerry Lawler a lot. I like how he doesn't work. You know what I mean? I like how I get a kick out of the way he does matches without doing anything. But like, I don't really love his. I mean, his sleaze it's wearing on me when we watch this era.
Yeah.
And then we get
triple threat tag team tables match.
The Undertaker and Kane. I thought that they were called the Brothers of Destruction, but I guess
they are. No, they are.
Did they say that during this, or was it?
Oh, I don't know if they said it, but that's what they eventually are known as if it hasn't happened yet.
I don't think they were using the tagline yet for that, but I mean, so it's Brothers of Destruction versus the Dudleys versus Edge and Christian. Undertaker comes out. It's always so disappointing when he's on his motorcycle listening to Limp Bizkit.
With Limp Bizkit.
He's just, I wrote down Undertaker is a loser in 2001. He was so cool when I was a kid. He's a fucking loser.
Thankfully, this doesn't last too much longer. I'm pretty sure like in a year or two, he's back to the dead man.
Yeah. And I don't know. After the 3 stages of hell match, I'm still feeling like all this shit is weirdly placed. The rhythm of this show is kind of like, I don't know, like this seems like an opening match to me. Could have done this instead of the hardcore one.
Totally. But, I mean, it's a good match. Like,
it's what you'd expect. Yeah.
Yeah, it's great people. I mean, I like all 6 of the people in this match. It is exactly what you expect. A little bit underwhelming given the 3 stages of hell. But it was an exciting car crash of a match, which is what these types of things usually are. And it was slightly different from some of the tables matches that we've seen in episodes past, where like I think a couple of times we saw it. If there was a tag team, it was like you have to get both people through a table to win. But for this one, it was just like as soon as somebody goes through a table, whoever did that is the winner.
And it's always more fun when the Hardys are in the match with the Dudley boys and Edge and Christian, because the swanton through the table off the entrance in the arenas and stuff. It
did feel like I missed the Hardys this time.
Yeah, I mean, I prefer the Brothers of Destruction in more of a 2-on-2 type of thing. I don't know. But they were there. They're fine. They're just really big dudes that aren't going to go flipping off of shit. But ultimately, the Dudleys put, I think, Christian through a table, and that ended it. It was not like insanely long match, and Meltzer gave it a 2-star rating.
Yeah, that tracks. It just, I think it suffered from having to follow what was clearly either the match of the night or maybe tied for match of the night, but we did have one more match left, and this was definitely a doozy. The Rock versus Kurt Angle for the WWF Championship.
Yes, this was good. You
can feel the excitement of this one for sure. Like when they're coming out, everyone's chanting "You suck" for Angle. This is the Rock's time where he is the biggest star, if not, tied with Austin for being the biggest star of the WWF. And it's a terrific main event with 2 of the biggest stars of all time. Like, what can you really say?
They said that The Rock at this point was the first 3rd-generation wrestler in WWF history, which I thought was interesting. But for Kurt Angle to be in this match, it really did start off. It wasn't mat wrestling. Like it started right off as like a brawl. I mean, there was a ton of like choke slams and suplexes and such. But I mean, it started off crazy, and then Big Show was interfering and shit. Didn't he come out and choke slam everyone, including the ref, at some point?
He did. I didn't understand this. I think the commentary table mentions something about how like somebody beat him because he was supposed to be in this match, but somebody beat him for the spot or so. I don't know, but he. Oh, I wrote it down. Sorry. So he comes down to the ring, he choke slams everyone, including the ref. And commentary says he wanted to be in this match, but he lost to The Rock in previous weeks. It still felt really odd. And like, even the crowd didn't know how to react until he started choke slamming.
And this wasn't like the end of the match. This was like kind of like early on. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it was in the middle of the match. Like, and he comes out and the crowd's like, what? And then he starts choke slamming people and the crowd's like, yeah, choke slams or whatever. But it still felt a little weird. And of course, ref gets choke slammed to hell, and Angle pins Rock. There's no referee. This is where I thought it was a similar thing that we see, but it was just a little bit different. So whoever the original referee was gets chokeslammed. 2 other referees come down to help him. One of those refs is Earl Hebner, and Angle is pinning Rock as the 2 refs are helping the one who got chokeslammed like walk away. Hebner sees that Angle is pinning Rock, comes in and starts to count, but Rock kicks out. And then Hebner leaves again. And then Rock grabs the belt, hits Angle with it, and Hebner decides to turn around. He's like, oh, well, now there's another pin. So he counts for Rock pinning Angle, but Angle kicks out. And And then from there, I feel like this match was fantastic from like this point on, because then it's just all about like drawing out the submissions, drawing out the false finishes. You know, Rock is, I guess, the underdog, even though he's been the champion before. Angle gets the ankle lock on Rock, but Rock gets to the ropes. Rock hits the people's elbow, but it's only a 2 count. Angle takes the turnbuckle off the top rope, slams Rock's head into it, hits him with an angle slam, and it's still not enough. Rock kicks out. Like, that to me was great. I literally was like, holy shit, when Rock kicked out of that, because when you get hit with a fucking turnbuckle, an exposed turnbuckle, and somebody's finisher, and then you kick out, it's like some AEW shit right there. Where you're like, holy shit, I can't believe that.
Kicking out of everything. I liked when Angle had Rock in the ankle lock, and he's like, tap out, you son of a bitch. I'll fucking break it off.
Yeah, that was good too.
And I was like, whoa, like this is like, I don't know, man. I like the fire of old WWF in this era. And I like that AEW pays homage to a lot of that shit. They're not afraid to say and do things kind of similarly, where WWE is like, so like, no, we must be good for all ages,
sanitized for the family.
Yeah.
And that the ankle lock stuff was great. After Angle slams Rock's head into the exposed turnbuckle, hits him with the angle slam, and it's not enough. Rock throws Angle into the turnbuckle, the exposed turnbuckle, hits him with a rock bottom. And this is the one part where I was like, oh man, like they almost had it fucking flawless. So he hits the rock bottom on Angle, he pins him, and I think Angle missed the kick out because I don't know if you noticed it, but like he didn't move at all. And Earl Hebner called it a 2 count.
He moved his hand down like he saw the shoulder wasn't all the way down.
Right. But we didn't see it.
But it was bullshit. Yeah.
Yeah. And so Rock hits Angle with another rock bottom. That's all she wrote. He gets the pin, new champ. But I was like, oh man, that one thing, like you almost had just the most flawless, like final 10 minutes of a match I'd ever seen, or maybe it was like 5 or 8 minutes or whatever. But it was a really good match for sure.
Yeah, it was just intense, and you were on the edge of your seat, and it seemed like either guy could win at any second. I guess maybe it's because in the modern era there aren't a lot of title changes, and I don't know if there were this time, but I was like, on a secondary PLE, you're probably not going to get a title change, but then you fucking did, and that was. I mean, that always makes the match that kind of makes it even better when you witness a title change. So David Meltzer from the Wrestling Observer newsletter gave this one a 4 1/4 stars.
Okay.
I'm agreeing with him on this one. This pay-per-view, Kurt Angle leaves crying. It's kind of a weird, you don't see that a lot. And that was No Way Out, 2001. So we have a 3-tier rating system here as the song goes. Fast forward, play, or rewind. Fast forward meaning we didn't like it. Play meaning we liked it. Rewind meaning we really liked it. We might even watch it again and do another podcast about it. We might even create an entire podcast just about this one. No, we're not going that far.
Whoa.
So this pay-per-view was my call. So I guess that means I start off with my rating for it. I will say there are 2 really good matches on this card. And you should watch those. As a whole, I probably won't go like saying like, oh my God, this is the one, right? Like it could be because there are 2 really good matches on it, but there's a lot of filler. So I'm just going to say because of the censor this match and the right to nudity match or whatever and some of that stuff, I'll take a couple points and go play. What say you, Aaron?
I think we're in agreement. I mean, it does, when you think about it when I think about it in hindsight, it does feel like a rewind. The 4-way for the Intercontinental Championship, the 3 stages of hell, the tag team tables match, and the main event, they're all really good. Like you said, 3 stages of hell and the WWF Championship match are clearly the best matches of the night. But yeah, I really didn't love the hardcore match. Thought it was stupid. Stephanie versus Trish was unnecessary. Steven Richards versus Jerry Lawler was extremely unnecessary. So I think I'm going to go play after all.
Yeah, it's like half bad, half awesome, right?
Yeah, which, I guess when I think about it, it's hard to find a pay-per-view where you're like, man, every match is a straight banger. There's always one that like leaves a little something to be desired, but I think play for this one is the right call.
That one was okay, I guess.
Uh,
Now let's hear from the Grapple Gang.
we always love to hear from you, the Grapple Gang out there. You can always reach us by telephone. Get our Google Voice machine, our answering machine. If you call 626-657-SLAM.
Pick up the phone.
You can cut a promo on us. You can let us know what we were right, wrong about, what you think we should watch next, or just tell us your feelings about old school pay-per-views. You can also reach out to us. We are at Grapple City Pod across social media, and our email address is grapplecitypod@gmail.com. Let's see if I got anything for us this week. You know what people have been writing in more than anything else since our last episode? When we didn't really know, well, when you knew, but I was disagreeing and thought that AJ wasn't retiring, everyone was saying, like 12 people said that he's going to TNA. He's going to TNA. AJ's going to TNA. Some people say AJ Styles is all elite. And I don't know. What do you think he's... I know we kind of talked about this at the beginning of the episode, but do you think AJ Styles is going to show up in AEW?
I don't.
Because there's people from his New Japan past and from his TNA past there. You don't think it'll happen?
I don't, honestly. I would be very surprised. I can't, no one can know what he's thinking, right? But I would have to imagine that he's ready. I mean, we know he's ready to wind down. He said he was ready to retire this year. And this could be it. This could have been the last thing that we'll ever see from him. And I think it feels bad because we just got a year of Cena. But if you think about it and you take the Cena stuff away, this is honestly more than most wrestlers get when they retire, right? Because a lot of times it's like, oh, I hurt myself, I'm done, right? And you don't even get any pomp and circumstance.
Or right, they're on commentary now, and they never really said they had a last match, but they said that, their in-ring career is winding down, and then and then when they're like 62, there's some match, but it's not quite it, right? So yeah, you're right.
Who knows?
It's just up against Cena that it seems disappointing, but this is a thing that
I'm disappointed. I'm obviously disappointed. I think that if he's going to show up again anywhere, it's probably in New Japan or TNA, but it's not going to be for any extended period of time. It's, if he goes to TNA, it's probably going to be like a couple matches or a few weeks of TV and a match. I think maybe he goes for the TNA championship, but it's on Mike Santana right now, and Santana's a babyface. Like, that doesn't really make sense to me. So,
dude, even Undertaker's last match was cinematic on fucking during the pandemic, right?
Yeah,
it was like,
against AJ. And that was a cool match. I actually really liked that a lot. But yeah, just things don't really end in wrestling the way that they end in a lot of other athletic avenues. And I think that Cena was like a pleasant aberration, right? Like we're not going to see anything like that with anybody else, maybe ever, because they hold him in such high regard there. But I don't know. Only time will tell. I hope that all of the people who commented on our stuff are right, and he does get to do something else. And I hope that if he does do something else, that it's cool and good, because he deserves it. And, it's funny, like all these guys are like, I just can't go anymore. Like Cena and AJ are like, I just can't do it anymore. I'm like, what are you guys talking about? You're so good still.
Yeah. I saw an interview with AJ. It seemed like he was being polite to some TikToker at the airport. Someone had a camera in his face and was like, can I interview you? And I don't know. I mean, if I was him, I would have been like, hey buddy, get the fuck out of here. But he was like answering questions really politely. And he was like, so you really think you can't go anymore? Like, is it something that hurts? Is it a certain body part that's broken down? And he's like, man, if there was something wrong with me, I wouldn't even know it. Like, I've been in pain for so many years in my life. Everything hurts, man. And I was thinking about that, like being, someone of, I mean, I've got to be around that guy's age, and being someone that's not a professional wrestler, all the fucking shit that hurts. If someone was throwing me around for a living, I can't imagine how you can go, but like it must not feel very good.
Yeah, you need a lot of time to recover, and you need a lot of time to prepare. And I get it. Like I'm not trying to downplay the way that he feels. Obviously, I can't know what that's like to have done what he's done for as many years as he has. He's done crazy shit for like 25 years.
Yeah.
So I understand it as best as I can. I think, just as a fan, I'm like, man, you don't see it as him taking a step back. And I think a lot of times in wrestling, when you see somebody who's a little too far past where they should have stopped, you can really tell.
You see it, yeah.
And we were not, I don't think we were really able to see that with Cena, and I don't think I really saw that with AJ. I mean, yeah, they both didn't do some of the stuff that they used to do, but it's not, that's the thing that I've learned as I've gotten older and I've watched more and more is I love the moves. I love Will Ospreay. I love that shit. But also you don't always need that stuff. If you pepper it in occasionally and you make a moment out of it, like that's just as good as having, a Kyle Fletcher versus Will Ospreay, like insane banger. I love those matches, but you don't always need it. It's not the most effective tool in their tool belt.
Yeah, it's not the only kind of match. That's for damn sure. So this pay-per-view is my call, and that will leave the next one up to you, Aaron. Have you thought about what we're watching for the next episode?
I have some thoughts. I've got it narrowed down to 3. And I know this doesn't help us at all, but I was looking at some February pay-per-views. We could do another No Way Out, and I have a No Way Out 2000, which I've heard is pretty good. No Way Out 2004, which I've heard is pretty good. Or I could do that thing that you like to do where we jump the fence and we go to WCW and we could watch Super Brawl 2, which I found in its entirety on YouTube. So I know that it exists and we can watch it.
Oh, cool.
I just don't know.
Well, I can't make the decision for you.
All right. Yeah.
Actually, I could if you want, but
no.
But then it wouldn't be it wouldn't be your call.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Hold on.
Aaron think hates the shit.
Wait, what was that? I missed the beginning was kind of like crackly. What did you say?
Aaron think hates the shit.
She has an interview. She has an accent, but she's trying to say Aaron Fink hates this shit. I thought I could maybe use it on something. I don't know. I'm
sure the time will come where I say I hate this shit. All right, I'll make a decision. Let's jump back a year and let's go with No Way Out 2000. The main reason I want to watch this is because of the main event. It is Triple H versus Cactus Jack in a Hell in a Cell, and it is title versus career match for the WWF Championship.
That's cool.
So obviously we know, well, I guess he was Cactus Jack, so maybe it counts, but like we know Mick Foley doesn't retire after this match. He comes back eventually, but I've heard that this is a very good match. Other people we get to see: Kurt Angle, Chris Jericho, Mark Henry, the Hardys, Edge and Christian, Dudleys, New Age Outlaws, The Rock, Taz, Big Boss Man, our buddy Ray Traylor.
Yeah, excited. So No Way Out 2000 for the next episode, right?
Yeah, let's do it.
I'm looking forward to that one. And that's all the time we got for today. Thanks for listening to Grapple City Rewind. Remember to follow us on whatever platform you're listening on, and that you can always just ask Alexa, play Grapple City Rewind podcast, but make sure you include the word podcast at the end, and she will know what to do with that information. Thank you guys. We'll see you soon.
Catch you in the cheap seats. Adios.